delay just due to to put it in perspective, my internet's been shit recently, so I had to get that fixed before we did this. But yeah, welcome back to the D&G Podcast, episode number 3. As usual, I am joined with co-host Grim.
What's up, everyone?
So today we got a lot of shit to talk about. There is no shortage.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, there is no shortage of information to talk about now. We have the new Call of Duty teams. Well, we have 5 of them, and we're only missing one player for one of them.
We have 5 written down. We're going to talk about 4 of them, and there are 12 total.
Yeah, we're also going to be talking about probably one of the biggest Call of Duty players on the scene, what we think his plans are going to be, his decisions recently, and judging from my hoodie, you could probably take a guess who that is. But anyways, we'll jump right into it. First thing I want to talk about is Scump announcing that he's left Optic.
Yeah, he announced that he left Optic, but he hasn't changed his Twitter, so I'm confused.
I'm pretty sure it's still the same on all handles. I'll go and check the Instagrams really quick, just to see if it's actually the same on the gram. But
I imagine he didn't change it on anything. If he didn't change it on
no, it's still the same on the gram. He just does not have the @Optic Gaming in it anymore.
But where is he gonna go? Okay, we haven't had an announcement. We haven't seen tweets. We haven't seen any tweets from him since he announced that he is no longer a part of Optic. He hasn't changed his name. He hasn't announced. He hasn't said anything. So, what are his options?
Well, there's always the option out there of retirement. He is probably one of the most. Well, no, he was one of the best Call of Duty players in the fucking game. There's no question about it.
But here's my question about that. When he went on the Courage and Nate Shot show, he had told them that he was not retiring. He promised fans and he reassured them that he was not retiring after last year's Call of Duty season. But now that he's left Optic, hasn't announced anything, could that still be a viable option for him? I don't think it is. I think he's gonna wait until the last minute to review where he's going.
But where would he go? Where could you see him go? We already have Dallas COD filled up. We already have Imperial, London Royal, COD Minnesota. We haven't been able to find their 5th, but that doesn't mean that they don't have one yet. And New York COD has fucking 6 people from what we know of so far.
Yeah, but you and I only did a half hour of research, and there's 7 teams left that we haven't been able to find. I mean, he's one of the most valuable players out there, other than Crim6 and Formal.
Could you see any of these teams, apart from Imperial, because I would drop the entire fucking Imperial team just for Scump, out of Dallas COD, New York COD, London Royal, Minnesota, could you see them potentially dropping a position or a player to pick up Scump?
I personally see NYC COD dropping somebody for him.
Okay, who would they drop?
Well, here's who we have written down for NYC COD. We have Zuma, Attach, Sensor, Accuracy, Temp, and Zero. Accuracy, Temp, and Zero all have question marks because they've announced them as players, but we don't know if that's the exact players that are going to be on there because that's 6.
I think you throw Zero to the side on that one.
We can throw Zero to the side. So that would put Temp, Accuracy, Sensor, Attach, and Zuma.
A pretty good team.
Okay. No, that is a pretty well-rounded team, but when you look at it, Sensor has been out of the professional Call of Duty scene for a couple years now. I think would be the first one to go. But what's going for Sensor is he's hungry to play. He wants to win, and he has that dedication and that mindset, which is very valuable when it comes to playing with brand new players. So I don't know. It could be Sensor, Accuracy, or Temp. Because Zuma and Attach, you can't get rid of those two. Zuma's a veteran, and Attach has won one championship, COD championship. he's a monster.
You mean World Championship? He's won multiple COD titles in Advanced Warfare.
I meant World Champion.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So, I think Scump's he's either got Dallas Empire or NYC COD.
Well, what if here's where I think Scump goes, and I can't believe I didn't think of this until now. I think he goes to NRG.
That would be COD Chicago.
Yeah.
Seattle.
I think he goes to NRG.
COD. But here's the thing about Seattle, though. I mean, I would love to see him reunite with Hex. I would not be surprised if Hex picked him up for his Call of Duty team, because, he'd be the captain, obviously. But who is going to play on that team with Scump?
Karma.
I think Formal's going to be on that team too.
So do I.
Because there was rumor that those two were going to team up after Black Ops 4 ended. The rumors floated around when they were getting rid of Crim6 that Formal was taking that spot. And I just think that Karma, Formal, and Scump, there's 3 of the 4 players from the OG...
like the Dynasty Day, the Infinite Warfare Day.
Yeah, and you got 3 of them right there. They already know each other's chemistry. They know how each other play. So I would love to see those 3 return under a brand new name and still be able to play under Hex as well.
But they won't.
No, you gotta keep our minds open here. You never know, because NRG, which is Seattle COD, has not revealed a single person that is playing in their 2020 COD season, or their 2019-2020 COD season.
Yeah, but from what I make out of it, the only issue with getting the whole the old Optic Dynasty back together, I know from what I've seen on Twitter, Crim has no issues with Formal or Scump. It's Karma. Because remember when he got dropped from Optic, he didn't leave, he got dropped, which I believe would be one of the dumbest decisions that you could make. But he mentioned that the other 3 people just decided to get rid of him, which means Dashi, Karma, TJ.
Yeah, where's TJ and Dashi?
Do you think they stick with Scump and go to Dallas? If that's where Scump goes, or do you think they just follow Scump to wherever he goes? Because those were 3 really fast, really consistent slayers.
If you think about it, the viable option here is TJ, Dashi, Scump.
And then you just surround them with 2 ARs.
And you throw Formal in there, dude. You're basically having the OG roster just without Crim6.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Karma. Throw Karma in there, that's the 5th.
Oh, no.
So
Fuck. I got a better replacement.
For who?
For Karma, a better replacement than Karma. You have TJ, Dashi, Scump, Formal. Alright, you have 4 right there. Octane has yet to get signed.
That would be a sweet pickup. Dude, fucking Octane would be a nice AR addition. Because Formal and Octane, those as a duo for ARs...
We've only seen them go against each other. We've yet to see what they can do on the same team.
That would be dirty.
That would be... it would be devastating.
You know my opinion on Octane. I think he's one of the best ARs in the world, hands down, no questions asked. There's no one comparable to him other than Crim6 or Formal. He is just so good in my opinion. He's very
Clayster in his AW days, but those are long gone.
I'm not saying Clayster's washed up. Clayster's not the same one. He's not the same Clayster he was in AW, because he's changed in the Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War II, and Black Ops 4. I don't think he was the same Clayster.
I just don't think he plays as aggressive as what he used to. He has a more methodical playstyle, and it shows in his stats. His KD is not where it was before. But that's because
he's a little sloppy. He's a little sloppy of a player now.
Okay. Well, I was going to be nicer and just say he's adapted a more methodical playstyle, but sure, we can go like that. Clayster, for whatever reason you see this, it's not hate, bro. It's all love.
Clayster knows I love. I've always had a strong love for
Clayster doesn't know you, so.
I know, but I just think that his playstyle has gotten a little sloppy. His aim gets shaky when he's in tight situations. He doesn't.
I like
mean,
how
he
we
doesn't
say this though, like there's a chance they see it.
Yeah, well, whatever. You never know.
I mean, Scump saw your
When-
tweet, so it's possible.
When we back on these podcasts, and they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting off track.
Anyways.
But
So yeah.
that would be a great Seattle COD roster, though.
It would.
Octane, Formal, Dashy, TJ, and Scump. I still think that TJ could be dropped. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of TJ.
The
on Black Ops
Iceman.
4.
Really?
I personally wasn't a big fan of him. He was inconsistent. Either he was hot or he was just fucking off. It was one of the two.
I agree. It was those days when you had TJ just, not doing TJ things. His performance was absolutely atrocious. He was abysmal in the slaying department, never showed up, and it was just, he was a walking score streak. I'm sorry to say, but he was a walking score streak on those bad days. But those days when he turned up, he truly deserved that Iceman title.
You're right. No, when he showed up to play, and he did very well. But if you remember, he was also the one that the fans wanted to drop.
Well, yeah, but they were always looking for a person to... They were always looking for a person to throw the blame on. Remember when Scump didn't stream or make videos, anything like that? They threw it on Scump. When Karma came in fucking Advanced Warfare, they threw it on Karma when they didn't win the first event with him.
That's true.
Fans are... When their team is winning, they love them. When their team loses, it's fuck them. But that's not like just... That's everybody, in a sense. Because you want your team to win, you get pissed when they don't. It's not hating the team, it's just, wanting them to succeed.
Alright, so we talked about Seattle COD possible roster that we would like to see.
Yes.
We talked about NYC's roster.
Yes.
We have Dallas Empire, which is consisting of Clayster, Crim6, Illy, Hook, and Shotzi. I don't know who Illy is, and I don't know who Shotzi is.
So, you know how Simp came up in the S&D community? Where he was just playing wagers, streaming, kind of like Nick Merckx, except Nick Merckx didn't go pro.
Yeah.
Okay, same aspect. He was a tournament person. So he'd sit there, he's an S&D star pretty much. But he can also hang in those respawns. He has that slang ability and promise to keep up with it.
I think he did really well in respawns this year.
So did I. I was quite impressed with it. I'd pop in the stream every once in a while to see how it is. I act like I'm a fucking scouter, but I'm not. I just like to see what potential talent there could be in the next Call of Duty year. And clearly, Illy proved himself. He showed up, he did what he had to do, and now he has a spot on Dallas COD. With two of probably some of the most successful veterans in Call of Duty esports. You have Clayster and you have Crim6.
Crim6?
Yeah.
Crim6 is a 32-time COD champion, I think.
Two-time world champ, and so is Clayster. Wait. Yeah, Clayster's a two-time world champ, too. Back with Denial Esports.
No, yeah. I'm just saying, on Crim6's Twitter, it says, 32-time COD champion. Like, he's won 32 tournaments or something like that.
What do you have left to do at that point? You're a 32-time champ with 2 Call of Duty World Championships.
Think about it, dude. You're just playing because you love the game at that point.
At that point,
you have enough money. He has plenty of money.
I get home from work some days, and I'm just like, it's fucking COD. Who wants to play that?
You're talking about people who play the game between 12 and 16 hours every fucking day of their lives.
Can't do it.
You see, I can do it, but I have to be playing with people. I can't just be playing by myself. These guys scrim all the time, and they do wagers. They do anything possible to practice. They put as much time into playing Call of Duty as a professional sports athlete puts into playing their specific sport. That's why they're called Call of Duty athletes. They're called esports athletes because they put in the same amount of work as a regular sport. But once again, we're heading off topic. Who is Shotzi? Who the I've never heard of this guy.
I don't know. Give me a minute. I'm gonna look him up.
Just like I've never heard of Illy.
Okay, the whole Illy thing shocks me. Not Shotzi though. Not Shotzi, because Illy's been pretty. It's not like he's unknown. It's just when it comes to S&D, It's a completely different aspect of it. This kid's run around, he's won the tournaments, and I say kid because I'm quite certain that he's younger than us.
Probably.
But this kid would run around, he'd win tournaments like we go around and win public match hard points. This kid's running around winning online tournaments in S&D. Kid's a freak.
Yeah, but he's not playing against like pro athletes like.
But he is though. Think about when Infinite Warfare dropped. What were people playing more? Were they playing Infinite Warfare, or were they playing Modern Warfare Remastered throwback S&D tournaments?
They were playing throwback tournaments.
Exactly. So you had this kid with fucking Ral Daddy. You had him with what was it? Nick Merckx, Amp. You know, like,
so he's made a name for. I just haven't heard of him. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he brings to the table. But here's what leads me into my next question: can these two, Ilya and Shotzi, are they going to be able to hold their own against these top-notch Call of Duty players that we're seeing on these other rosters when they've never been in the Call of Duty World League before? They haven't been in the COD War League and have consistently played against some of the best players in the world.
I think
are they going to be able to keep up?
I think your first LAN event's gonna show that. It's gonna answer that question.
I want to be shocked. I want to be surprised. I want to see these guys. Because I've said this to you before, I don't know how long ago it was. I'm ready to see fresh faces in the professional Call of Duty world. I'm sick of seeing the same people every fucking year. I want to see fresh, young people who are finally getting their shot to play.
So I found out who Shotzi is.
Okay, who is he?
Well, from what I'm gathering here, he's an ex-Halo world champion.
Okay, so ex-Halo. I feel like a lot of people are sliding over from Halo because Halo's just going down the drain.
From what I'm gathering.
Okay, so maybe he's an ex-Halo player.
Very excited to make my debut in Call of Duty. Thankful for this opportunity and can't wait to get to work with this team.
All right. That's gonna be different. I hope this team works out. I want to see fresh faces, new people, finally get their shot to play in professional Call of Duty. All right, let's move on. Team Imperial. You have 5 people. I have never heard of a single one of them. I'm just gonna read this Team Imperial roster off to everybody. We got Newbie, iWebster, Seb JF, Blue Spider, and Ray. I've never heard of any of these people.
So what do you expect from a team that you've never heard anything about?
I don't know, because
precisely,
for all we know, they could be really good players for all we know.
This is true, but how many times have we seen Call of Duty teams come up with like new players and they get wiped first tournament?
True. Look at 100 Thieves when they first came into the scene.
Well, I'm not even talking about 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves made what? They made like 1 or 2 roster changes throughout the entire season, and then we're just lights out for the rest of it.
True. But I don't know how I feel about this team. I don't know if they're good. I don't know anything about them. And the Imperial Esports, their official page. I don't even know if this is their official page. I don't know where I got this shit from. Wait, who did Team Imperial play under? Who was their?
We don't even know where this team comes from.
I really don't, because usually when all of these teams are sponsored by either an existing Call of Duty or existing esports organization or a some outside buyer. So
it doesn't make sense to me.
They must come from money though, because it's a $20 million buy-in.
Yeah, but like, what? I don't understand. Like, any of these players, Any of them. Mind you, though, it could just be these are all UK people. It could be a complete, like, it could be another UK team or AZ team, like from Australia, shit like that. These could be players that are big over there, but we have no clue who they are.
Dude, I'm looking at them right now, and I know these are the players. Fucking Seb JF has 135 followers.
Do you think? I don't know.
Look at Blue Spider has got 933.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to throw an opinion in on stuff like this just due to the fact that we don't know these players. We don't know what they're capable of. We don't know what they've done.
I agree. I'm just trying to give you like
bit of a backstory to it.
They're not known.
Yeah.
They're not known by anyone. Like nobody that I know or I'm following or my followers, nobody is following any of these 5.
See, but
I don't even know who owns the Imperial organization.
That's interesting, though.
And it is because it's official, though. This is the team that we are talking about because COD World League has the list of the 12 teams.
Here's why I find this very interesting, that we have a team that nobody knows anything about, and they're all people that, you know, they don't have the popularity as most of our Call of Duty players that we've known to love and follow.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have something to prove. Because no one's going to know who they are. So there's a good chance that they get taken lightly. I'm excited to see what they can do.
It's just like a lot of the teams that the new teams that came in Black Ops 4. Like, you had Midnight Esports, you had,
yeah, fucking Midnight was clapping everybody!
Exactly, like, all these new teams that we've never heard of, and especially their players, and they come out and they surprise everyone. A lot of these teams, they've never been in the Call of Duty scene, all of a sudden they were holding up. And I hope this Imperial squad that nobody knows about is able to do that as well. I hope they can come through and they can surprise everyone and do well. I really do.
I'm throwing this out there right now. I want Imperial. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I don't know why I said I was going to throw this out there right now. You pretty much just said what I was going to say. I want Imperial to show up, and I want them to assert themselves, preferably in their first tournament. Because if they can do that, people will start. People will start taking them seriously. You don't really have a choice but to do it in your first series,
Alright, we talked about them. There's not much more we can say about them. Let's move on to the London Royal Ravens. This is a very typical EU roster. I'm not surprised these people are on this roster. You got Scraps, Dillinger, Wuskins, and Rated. Just a typical EU.
Yeah.
EU roster.
How many times have we seen these guys team?
Too many.
Wasn't this Red Reserve back in World War II?
I don't know if it is the exact Red Reserve team, but it's close to it.
No, you had Zero or Bance.
Well, wasn't World War II the first year that the U.S. was incorporating the EU teams directly into the into all the tournaments and everything? Because we only saw EU teams prior to that at the EU tournaments. Everything was separated. It wasn't like everything wasn't together. If that's correct, if my memory serves me right.
I'm not too sure. All I know is that, and don't any EU people, don't take offense to this right now. All I know is that the EU was irrelevant in the Call of Duty community up until about Black Ops 3, since like Infinite Warfare, World War II, like that era.
It's because they weren't playing against American teams.
Although, the Splice roster in Infinite Warfare literally made people start taking them seriously.
And then Red Reserve made their run in World War II.
Yeah.
Red Reserve had a really good year in World War II.
Yeah, they did. When you take down a team like Optic Gaming, whether it's their good year, whether it's not their good year, if you take down a team like Optic Gaming, people are going to start taking you seriously.
And it was a shame that they opted out this year for their COD team.
Oh, Optic, yeah.
They dropped everyone. But Scraps, he had a really good year on FaZe Clan this year.
Going back to that really quick, we don't know if the entire Optic team got dropped. So far, all we've heard is Krim and Scump. That's it.
Yeah. But you wait. I think the other three are gonna drop.
Oh, I think they're already all gone.
Back.
What are you gonna do?
They dropped it completely.
Like, Immortal's gonna keep those 3 players that already said...
Not only that, now think about it this way. You have your leader, Hex, who's led that COD roster specifically for so long. He leaves, and then you have your team captain leave. What else? What is there left for you to play and fight for? And, like, your team leader's gone, your captain's gone. Like, what's left?
You try and rebuild. But how do you do that?
Those 3 aren't going to want to rebuild.
Oh no, they're not going to rebuild. I think Scump was pretty much the Hex for that team. How Hex kept off the gaming together, I think Scump kept the competitive team together.
I just think that...
Don't at me.
I just think that no one wants to rebuild.
Agreed.
Scump obviously, why would he want to spend his remaining years as a professional Call of Duty rebuilding a team? So he got out while he could. I think it was a great time for him to get out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no doubt. It was like us being in Smokeless. How long can you really be in a team for?
Exactly.
Before you start losing your motivation and drive for that team.
I still think he'd be there though if Hex was there.
No?
I think he left because Hex left. I think once one left, the other left.
So you think they were just over it?
Yeah. I know for a fact, I have a pretty strong feeling Immortals would not have treated that COD roster anything close to what it has been in the last 7 years that he's been on it.
Agreed.
Because they don't care. In my opinion, Immortals does not care. They bought out Optic Gaming for what, the Overwatch spot?
No, they couldn't because they already owned they already had an Overwatch team and you can only have 1 spot per org. So they pretty much just said, fuck you, Houston Outlaws. You're not going to be in the league anymore. 1 less team for us to worry about. They wanted Optic's ESL spot.
Okay, so I mean that makes sense. But was it really worth destroying the organization for that? But that's not what this podcast is about. You can either dedicate that to a different time or...
I believe we've already looked into it. Go on our YouTube channels and check it out.
Yeah, we did. We did talk about it, I think, in our first episode. Yeah, our first episode, because our second one was about Hex joining NRG.
Yes. Very good ones. Very good ones. I suggest going to look at them.
So, we've talked about the 4 main rosters that we could find. We have a lot of people who have not revealed their teams, or we don't have a lot of teams that reveal their own rosters, so vice versa. I think it's going to be a really interesting year, but I don't know how it's going to play out. We only have 12 teams this year. These tournaments are going to be short, you know? There's 12 teams only.
They may be short, but like, well, no, you could do 12 teams in a weekend.
Well, no, I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying it's very few compared to previous years. Previous years you have dozens of teams.
Well, yeah.
So are they going to change the layouts of tournaments now and do double or triple elimination, or are they going to keep how are they going to do this?
I think triple is way too much. I think you keep it to a double elim, and you do what they did this year. Show off some of the AM teams.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing they can do, in my opinion.
Yeah, show off some of that fucking talent. Why is it just I mean, yeah, okay, cool, I get it. You limit it to the pros sometimes just because that's what people want to watch. Good for you. That's a great thing to do from a business perspective. But in the essence of growing the community, if you don't grow the community, what's going to happen after these Call of Duty players start getting dentures or they're getting too old to play video games anymore? What are you gonna do? You have no more players, and then you've just thrown in a $20 million buyout for nothing because you have no fucking players to rep you. What do you
Yeah,
do?
exactly. There's nothing much you can do.
You don't do a damn thing. Start building up the other players, the amateur players. Build
Exactly.
a league around them. Show that off in tournaments. That way you still have the content that was there before. But you can still run your 12 teams as main stage options. Help grow the community.
Very true. There is a subject that I want to talk about probably in our next podcast is what game modes are we going to see this year for the COD League? Rumor has it that Hardpoint is not going to be in the rotation this year.
I think that would be so dumb.
That's what I've heard rumor from people and I've seen tweets. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that Hardpoint will not be in the game on release day. I know that. I've heard that a lot of tweets and some rumors about that as well.
I'm pissed.
I hope that's not true. I mean, even if it is, I was planning on playing Demolition myself. I wasn't planning on playing Hardpoint. I was seeing how Demolition would be compared to previous Modern Warfares.
Oh, I'll play
But
Domination at that point, but like I'm still.
I think we need to hold off on that podcast until we see which game modes are going to be in the game, because we don't know. For all we know, fucking Blitz could be making a return, and they just kept it extremely secret. We don't know.
Possible.
I wish... I personally loved Uplink as a one of the game modes, but we can't have that because obviously there's no exosuits, so there's no advanced movement. And Gridiron was fucking atrocious in World War II to watch.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Even though it wasn't. I would like... CTF, I hope that makes a return. It was boring as fuck to watch, but it was also very, very competitive and fun to watch when it was a close game.
It was strategic, but like on those games when you get blowouts and you get like fucking 2-minute stalemates.
What about Dom?
Who's gonna watch
Dom would be a
that?
great return?
I think Dom would be a good return. But you gotta get small maps for domination. Because the key for competitive Call of Duty is you want constant action going on.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. And during the beta, we found some maps were not small, but
they were way too easy to spawn trap. I could spawn in and watch you tickle your nutsack in front of me. That's
that was
a problem.
A good thing, though, because that means that Spawn Trap is making a return, and that was what that was how I got known was for Spawn Trap when I was in Smokeless.
That's a fucking problem, though.
No, it's not.
If I can watch you spawn in, tickle your gooch, turn around and snipe me, that's a problem.
Yeah, but let's not go too in depth on this because I would like to make an episode out of this.
But yeah, fuck, let's make an episode out of it.
I just want to talk about what a potential next subject.
We got way off topic in this one. To be fair, it has been a while since we've done it due to just availability and yeah, my internet shitting the fucking bed. But it's better now, as you can see. It's better now. No prompts coming up on my screen saying internet's not able to support it. Fuck you, Bell. Fuck you, Bell Canada. Your internet sucks dog shit.
Do you have anything else to add to these about the COD rosters?
Oh yeah, okay. No, we spoke about this before. So earlier this morning, while discussing what we were gonna do on this episode of the D&G Podcast, we were playing Black Ops 4.
Yes, sir.
And I said I was going to shit on Black Ops 4.
Yes, he did.
Where the fuck do I begin?
Make it quick.
I don't think we've ever had a Call of Duty that has been so fucking inconsistent on its weapons. Maybe World War II with their buffs and nerfs. Maybe. Not even then. No, not even then. I don't think I've ever had a Call of Duty that has promised so much, has had such hype built around it, and it shits the bed so fucking hard.
Well, everyone said that this game had a lot of potential, and Activision, Treyarch did not tap into that that potential.
I'm gonna throw
And I
this.
think
Treyarch, you need to get Vondi back on that bitch.
yeah, right.
He did good. Whoever the fuck you had this year, get rid of him. Toss him. Fucking throw him to Halo. We don't want him. Get rid of him.
Especially since apparently Black Ops 5 is the next Call of Duty
Bro,
after Modern Warfare.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It was rumored Infinite Warfare, 2.5 years on the campaign, 6 months on the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was better than Black Ops 4. I'll give you this though, Blackout was amazing. No, I'm still shitting on it. I don't get it. I'm in Canada, and I'm matching on servers with people from fucking Uganda. Where the fuck is Uganda? Why am I matching with people like that? I'm playing with people in fucking Lebanon. I get people from the US. I understand that. Even Mexico. I can fuck with a bit of Mexico here and there. But across the fucking ocean?
No thanks.
You need to fix your shit come Black Ops 5 or people are not going to buy your systems or buy your games. You're going to go bankrupt. Enjoy. No, you probably won't go bankrupt. You business people, you'll probably find a way. But fuck your Call of Duty games as of right now. Prove me wrong next year, please. But, John, do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about for this episode?
Nope, I've hit all my points and talked about all I wanted to.
Okay. So for one last time, fuck you Black Ops 4. Fuck you creator who made it. You actually suck. But anyways, that's been it, guys, for this episode of the D&G Podcast. If you did enjoy the content that we have created in this one or our other episodes, do feel free to drop a like, subscribe. If you're seeing this, you already know my YouTube channel. I am King Devious. For Grim over here, go ahead, Grim. Tell them your channel.
My channel is Hit Grim, and as well as my Twitter is Hit Grim. We got I am King Devious as his. You can talk to either one of us through either one. So hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you guys in episode 4 probably next week.
Yes, we will. If you guys do have any ideas that you would like for us to talk about on the next podcast, go ahead, drop it down in the comments. We also do stream on Twitch. His is Hit Grim. Mine is I am King Devious. But anyways, guys, as per usual, that is it for us for today. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm out.